Hey, friend, welcome back to the Rescue My Bookkeeping Business podcast. I'm your host again this week, Stephanie, and today we're diving into a really juicy topic. 3 things I stopped doing that made my business immediately better. Now, we're not talking about adding more to your plate. We're talking about clearing space, letting go, and getting intentional. Because I know you've probably had those days where you're working your booty off, checking all the boxes, and still wondering, why isn't this clicking? Why on earth am I still stuck? Well, sometimes it's not about what we're doing, it's actually more about what we need to stop doing. And today, I'm pulling back the curtain on the exact things I let go of. Some habits, mindset shifts, and actions that were completely sabotaging my business growth. This episode is for you if you've been feeling overworked or overwhelmed. You've been saying yes to everything and everyone. You're stuck in this DIY hustle, or you just need a loving shove to finally take back your power. So go grab your coffee, take a deep breath, and let's get into this. Hey there, bookkeepers. Welcome to the Rescue My Bookkeeping Business podcast, your go-to resource for building a thriving and successful bookkeeping business. I'm Stephanie, your host and bookkeeper business bestie, here to guide you every step of the way. Each week, we'll dive into actionable tips, industry insights, real-world advice, and inspiring stories designed to help you work smarter, grow faster, and achieve the freedom and success you've been working toward. Plus, we'll have incredible guest interviews to help you take your bookkeeping business to the next level. Let's turn your big vision into your reality. It all starts here. All right, ladies, here's some real talk. There was a time when I would say yes to literally every single client that came my way. It didn't matter if they were late with communication. Didn't matter if their books were a total hot mess express. It didn't matter if they pushed back on my price. If they had a pulse and they needed bookkeeping, I was their girl. Well, why? Because I thought I had to. Because I believed if I didn't take this client, there wouldn't be another. Does that sound familiar? Let me tell you, that yes was costing me big time. I had no boundaries. I resented every single day of my work. I was undercharging and over delivering, and I was completely exhausted, both mentally and emotionally. So let me tell you about one client. We're going to call her Susan. I knew from the discovery call it was not going to be a good fit. She didn't value my time, showed up late, talked over me, asked for a discount before I even sent her a proposal. But I needed the income. So I said yes. And it was the most draining, soul sucking, anxiety inducing 3 months of my bookkeeping business. And when I finally let her go, it was like my nervous system could breathe again. The moment I started trusting that saying no made space for better, things shifted for me. My energy came back. My dream clients started appearing out of nowhere. I finally had time to build my business the way I wanted to instead of just surviving. If you've been feeling stuck, I want you to ask yourself, am I saying yes to people who aren't aligned with where I'm going in my business? And if you answer yes, it might be time to lovingly say no. That's growth, ladies. That's stepping into being a CEO of your company. All right, up next, number two, and this one's gonna hit home for some of y'all. I stopped trying to do everything myself. All right, back in the day, I wore all the hats. We're talking graphic designer, copywriter, web builder, an admin, client support, bookkeeper, marketer, social media person, like you name it, and I was doing it. And let me be honest, I was doing most of it halfway because I was exhausted and I wasn't an expert in all of it. And it started to show. But here's what changed the game. I realized that asking someone for help isn't a weakness. It's a strength, it's a strategy. Once I started investing in systems, in coaching, in community, my business transformed. I stopped wasting hours on Canva trying to create a logo. I started using templates to streamline my client work. I found a tribe of women where I could get feedback, answers, and support on the spot. That investment paid for itself 100 times over. I want you to hear me when I say you do not have to build this business alone. You're not failing if you buy a template. You're not cheating if you hire a coach or join a group coaching program. You're being smart with your time and your energy. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed, start asking yourself, what am I holding on to out of fear that someone else could help me do better and faster? And if that resonates with you, send me a DM. Let's chat on how you can find the help that you're looking for. Now, let's talk about the final thing I stopped doing. And that was I stopped winging it. This one stung to the core because I thought I was organized. I mean, I had the to-do list, I had all the sticky notes, I had a Google Calendar that was color coded, but I didn't have a real plan. No vision, no roadmap, just always reacting. Can you relate to that? Then one day I realized I'm not being the CEO of my business. I'm being the unpaid intern. So I made a commitment to become the strategist, not just the worker bee. I started doing weekly planning every Friday, monthly goal planning, quarterly reviews, looking back on my business. I started hosting my own CEO weekends, a few days to just step out of the weeds and back into the vision. And let me tell you, ladies, that changed everything. I knew now what to focus on. I stopped chasing all these shiny objects. I made more progress in less time because I had direction. If you're feeling stuck in busy work right now, I want to lovingly challenge you. What's your plan? What's your next goal? What's the big picture you're building? And if you don't know, well, that's okay, but you don't have to stay there. Get support, book a call with me, get in a room with others who will hold the vision with you. Because this business of yours, this passion, it deserves structure. And so do you. All right, this was a big one. So let's take a breath. Today, we talked about 3 things that I stopped doing and how those simple shifts changed the entire course of my bookkeeping business. I stopped saying yes to every client. I stopped trying to DIY everything. I stopped working without a plan. I let go of the noise, the fear, the shoulds, and I created a space for strategy, for confidence, and for growth. So I want to leave you with this. What do you need to stop doing? Where are you holding on out of fear? And what would open up if you let it go? If this episode hit home, I want to hear from you. DM me on Instagram or drop into the Facebook group and tell me what you're releasing this week. And if you're craving structure, systems, and a support squad to walk this out with you, come join us inside the Bookkeeper Bestie Club. It's the coaching club I wish I had when I first started. So remember this, you are capable, you are not behind, and you are allowed to build this business on your terms. Until next time, keep thriving, besties.